Hi everyone! Today I will share with you how I colored my first picture from coloring book My Fantasy Bestiary by Viktoria Kleyn, and a review of this book will be on my channel together with this coloring video. When I first got this coloring book, I immediately fell in love with a picture of owl. But when I made a flip through, I felt like this picture is calling for me. When I look at the picture and I feel that I can imagine some kind of story or legend behind it, I always knew that the final coloring result will be nice. So I decided that it will be my first picture. And I also realized that it will be a perfect way to finally start coloring with my set of acrylic paints, which I purchased 6 months ago and still haven't tried in coloring books. I only made swatches, and set is 12 shades of grey, acrylic paints of very natural muted colors, and I love them from the first sight, and I think that these colors will be perfect for this picture. I called this picture The Keeper of the Lake District, and I want all attention to go to the eyes of the wolf and also to its crown and to the lakes and to the waterfall which we have on the background. I covered sky with Payne's Grey acrylic paint by Ukrainian brand Rosa, and for the bottom part of the page I used warm grey, yellow-green and blue-grey colors from this set of 12 shades of grey. I was absolutely happy with paints. They laid down really well. They made quite opaque layer and covered paper nicely. They mixed very nice. So I think that I will make a detailed review of these paints in couple of days. To make interesting color combos on the bottom part of the picture, I tried to use a white flat brush and I loaded it with couple of colors simultaneously. So I touched a little bit of Payne's Grey and a little bit of grey-blue acrylic paints, and I made white strokes. Then I touched a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green, and in this way, just with simple strokes, I still got interesting background. And also it was amazingly quickly way to fill in the background. As a beginner, I don't know how to mix similar colors, similar natural looking muted colors from my basic sets of acrylic paint without getting muddy and excessively dark colors, so I'm happy that I decided to purchase these paints. I also used this acrylic for the mountains, and according to the laws of perspective, mountains which are farther from us are darker, and mountains which are closer to us are a little bit lighter. And fortunately, I have different hues of grays in the set. Then I decided to test different pencils on this paper because I needed to have my opinion about quality of the paper. I already mentioned in the book review that paper is amazingly thick, so I didn't have any problems. Of course, With acrylic paint, usually you don't have problems even on the thin paper, but it was a pleasure to work on such a thick paper. I only put a protective sheet of paper behind this page to protect other pages in the book, and that was all. Paper didn't buckle even a little bit. After I covered mountains with gray paint, I also added some kind of snow or ice on top of mountains using white acrylic. Next, I switched to Derwent drawing set of colors, and I think that colors of pencils from this set match really well colors of acrylic paint. So I applied additional hues on top of acrylic paint, and pencils lay down really well, and I love that how I added Mars violet to the mountains and different hues of green to the area around a lake. I deliberately decided not to color all the details like small trees on mountains. I decided that I want a contrast between not very detailed mountains on the background and detailed fur of the wolf. But I also wanted to attract attention to the water, so I switched to Prismacolor non-photo blue, a very bright blue pencil, and I used it for coloring a waterfall and lake. Then I added small details, small trees, using dark green, again from Prismacolors. For the wolf's fur, I used 20%, 50% and 90% cool grays from Prismacolor scent, also slate gray Prismacolor, and additionally black from Polychromos, just because my black Prismacolor is too short to color with it. I tried to use shadows which are already presented on the wolf, and it was quite easy to color thanks to very detailed picture. Then I added some brighter colors, and I did yellow eyes and also golden crown and green and magenta jewelry. The same colors, green and magenta, I all later used for the night lights in the sky. I used my Colorum fluorescent watercolors, and I did small drops of colors on the sky. I think that after that my picture looked really magical. When I colored mountains, I deliberately tried to color area directly behind the wolf a little bit darker, because on the last step I used tiny brush and white paint, and I tried to cover all edges of the wolf with white paint and to draw individual hairs in its fur, and on the dark background it looked really nice. Thanks to the usage of acrylic paint, I colored it really quickly. This video is half an hour and it speeded up just 2 times, so I think that I colored the whole picture in less than 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. So acrylic paint is the best way to fill in the background and to get nice and very bright picture. I really enjoyed this coloring process, first because I love to switch between mediums, and all my uh, latest works I did with Prismacolors or Polychromos, so for some time I hadn't colored with paints. and I also enjoyed quality of the paper and also how animal is drawn. It was very easy to color even for beginners, so don't be shy. Even if you are not very experienced in coloring animals, here you won't have any problems. We already have some light shadows here, so it's easy to color. I hope that you enjoy this process, and I think that I definitely will do a swatching and review of this wonderful set of acrylic paints. Don't miss the review for this coloring book, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching.